Even when they chose wrong, heaven kept your name in their spirit. They wandered far, but your name never left their silence. They were shaped by others, but made for you. Your love never expired. It evolved in silence. You weren't their phase, you were their prophecy. They always belonged to you, even when they didn't act like it. You were the only name they whispered when no one was listening. What they chased couldn't compare to what they felt with you. Their soul never moved on. It just got tired of pretending. Your absence woke them deeper than your presence ever could. Every version of them still aches for you. They met others, but never found home again. You weren't forgotten. You were buried under fear. They ran from the one they prayed for. God hid your love so they could learn to seek. Even in their denial, their heart called you by name. You didn't imagine it. They just weren't ready. They fought the bond because it made them feel seen. Love like yours doesn't leave. It lingers. They pretended to forget. Heaven didn't. What you gave was holy and they knew it. They lost you, but God never let them forget you. They smiled with others, but never healed. Their laughter moved on. Their soul stayed with you. You are the ache they never speak of. They didn't leave because of you. They left because of truth. They knew you were theirs. That's what scared them. They couldn't unfeel you, so they tried to unfind you. You weren't intense, you were eternal. They were yours before they knew how to stay. The timing was wrong. The connection wasn't. Their silence never silenced their love. They tried to forget, but God kept sending your face. Their soul still kneels where your name rests. They still pray for you, quietly, desperately. Your memory is louder than their regrets. You were never too much, just too real. They knew you were home. They just weren't ready to live there. The love never died. It just hid. They never unchose you. They just chose comfort. You still haunt their peace. They left, but their spirit never packed. You were the only goodbye they couldn't recover from. They see you everywhere, for a reason. They weren't pretending. They were protecting. Their love never left, just got quieter. Even when they said goodbye, their soul said stay. You were always theirs, but they were too broken to believe it. What you gave was unforgettable. That's why they still ache. They still carry your name where they think no one can see. You didn't lose them. They lost alignment. They loved you before they had the words for it. You were never out of their reach, just out of their courage. They had your heart, but not your strength. They couldn't hold you, so they tried to erase you. You felt like destiny. That's why they ran. Your love exposed their unhealed self. They lied to everyone but themselves. That's where you live. Even in distance, you were closer than their breath. They became someone else, trying to forget you. They tried to heal in arms that never knew you. You're the regret they won't admit. They didn't just miss you. They missed the version of themselves you awakened. You were the safest place they ever feared. Their heart knows you're still waiting. They tried to unlove you. They failed. God sealed your name inside them. They're tired of pretending the feeling was temporary. Your absence became scripture in their healing. You were too soul deep for surface love. They still wonder if you think of them. You are the what if that keeps them up at night. No one else ever called their soul the way you did. They feel your energy in every silence. They chased noise, but missed your frequency. They walked away, but still orbit your memory. They tried to replace you, not release you. What you were can't be recreated. You were unforgettable because you were true. They will return, changed but still yours. Their body moved on. Their spirit didn't. You are the ache in their favorite song. They never stopped believing you were the one. They spoke your name even when it hurt. You live in the corners of their healing. They had to break to see your worth. They weren't wrong for loving you, just late. You were the only thing that made them feel eternal. They still dream about the day they walked away. What they did doesn't erase what they knew. They're haunted by what could have been sacred. You were always the ending their ego feared. Their soul is tired of running from you. You didn't lose them. They lost the version of themselves you loved. They asked God for another chance and mean it now. They tried to rewrite what was written in the stars. You were their divine mirror. They weren't ready to look. They missed the way your silence made them feel seen. They always knew who you were. They just didn't know who they were. They've loved others, but none like you. They still carry the key you gave them. Their heart remembers what the mind forgot. You were a revelation. They needed time to believe. They long for the home they lost inside you. What they buried is beginning to rise. They'll come back, not because they must, but because they're ready. You were too much light for their shadowed season. The love didn't end. It evolved. They remember your softness like it was sacred. You were never replaceable, just deeply missed. They know they'll never find you again. They still pray over the memory of your name. You are the memory they fear and crave. Their silence speaks volumes of grief. Your name still finds them in the quiet. You were never forgotten, just stored in eternity. They're learning now what your love really meant. You were their glimpse of God. They feared your love because it healed them. You loved them in ways they weren't ready to love themselves. They didn't forget. They folded. You're not their past. You're their turning point. The separation never killed the connection. They still follow your energy in crowds. They talk about you without saying your name. You haunt their healing beautifully. They still reread what you left unsaid. You were the one that broke the pattern. They remember the sound of your soul. They were yours in every lifetime. You are what they seek in every stranger's eyes. Their soul knew before their mouth ever spoke. You loved them in ways only God understood. Their future still bends in your direction. They ask the stars to send you back. You were always more than they could hold. They can't undo a love that divine. Their heart still answers to your silence. God placed you in their story as the plot twist. They didn't mean to leave. They meant to survive. Their soul still calls you by the name only you answer to. You were the sacred echo in their storm. They're not over you. They're awakening to you. You were the moment they'll spend lifetimes chasing. They wore other arms but dreamed of your embrace. Their peace still lives in your presence. They gave up the truth to protect their comfort. They were always yours. They just didn't know how to stay.